Right, hello, welcome back to the plot. Let's have a look around. The archway is in, finally. Originally I was going to build a wooden structure again, but I got a bit annoyed building all the wooden structures and I didn't want to waste any more wood on it. So I just bought a couple of these cheap ones on eBay. I think they were like 16 quid for two. These are notorious for not being very good quality, but I've put loads of canes in and zip ties and metal down the bottom to try and secure it, and hopefully it will last more than a couple of years. We'll see. Loads of spare lettuce in these beds. I'm just waiting. The weather's really bad, so I'm just waiting for it to warm up a bit, and eventually I'm going to put some little pumpkins growing over here and some cucumbers, hopefully. So that's the archway, looking nice. Down the end here I've got a couple of courgettes which are not doing very well, so I've had to re-sow some. Okay, this is the carrot box, looking fantastic. Had loads of lettuce in. It's grown really well, so I've been really happy with that. And some spring onions, which are massive now. I've let them grow too big. I mean, this is my plan for this, was to grow carrots, main crop carrots for winter, and so I'm going to have to sow those soon. So I'm probably going to do one more pick of these lettuce and then take them all out and sow some carrots. I did put a few extra spare spring onions in there, but the rest of this box is going to be carrots. Got quite a few different varieties here, but I think this one here is my favourite, just really dark red out of these ones. Yeah, that's called Dark Rodent, so I'll grow that one again. Okay, over at the bean frame, my lovely bean frame, I've added some supports there, and I also driven some old pallet wood stakes in there and screwed that in, make sure it doesn't blow over in the wind. I don't know if it was that necessary, but better to be safe. I planted out some green beans, French beans here, and they're not looking very healthy at all. The weather's been really not very good. There's still a few sort of below 10 degrees centigrade overnight, so I've sown some more French beans just in case these just don't make it. At the back there I've got loads of red Grenoble lettuce. That's a really nice lettuce. I had one the other day. They are getting eaten by slugs though, as everyone's been having slug problems this year. That's the bean frame. Okay, over in the allium bed, shallots at the back, looking alright. But what you're here for is the onions, the onion competition. I think they're doing well. When I first sowed the seeds, I was thinking, can we get a kilo sized onion? And then there was, as they were growing, after a few weeks, I thought, oh, being a bit over optimistic. But now I'm not sure. Apparently with onions, I read this the other day, they don't start bulking out until the equinox, so another 3 weeks. And if you look at the size of them there, I think there might be a chance that they're going to get pretty big. There's another 3 weeks to grow before they start bulking out. Anyway, look what we've got. Got a cool dude there, looking good. Baby at the back there, not such a baby. Big cry baby, doing well too. And then Anne, coming in probably last, the smallest, but still doing alright. Let's get rid of those weeds. Apparently it's important to keep weeds out, so I'll probably go and get rid of all these weeds. Make sure they're free of weeds. But they're doing well, I think. Who do you think's the biggest? I think maybe baby there's the biggest. Okay, the Aussie Onions competition part 2. The bucket onions. And these are doing well as well. I thought these would be way behind the ones in the ground, but I think they're about the same. So that's good. Originally I was going to put these in much bigger buckets, but I thought it was probably a bit of a waste of compost. But I think these are probably a sensible size for individuals. But let's have a look. Got Messi here. Looking good. Next to Messi is Cry. Maybe slightly bigger than Messi. Not sure. And then we got the Daddy Onion. I think he's the biggest. And then Annie, which originally Annie was tiny and I didn't think it would. I thought it'd be way behind, but it's caught up loads. And that's quite not bad. Probably still the smallest, but and there's been something eating it there, look. But all of them are doing alright, I think. These ones aren't covered, so they might end up getting allium leaf miner damage, but hopefully not. Well, they're all growing alright, I think. Okay, let's have a quick look at the back of the plot. Potatoes growing there, they're doing okay. Got a tomato growing there up the canes, which is alright. This bed here, which we made out of pallet wood, it did have loads of slugs in. I cleared out the rapini, which we had a couple of meals off, but I saved way too much rapini. I'll have to sow less next time. And the beetroot here, I know I've noticed a couple being eaten by slugs, so I don't know what's going to be there underneath. But I'm going to harvest that later, see if there's anything worth eating. Over here we've got potatoes. They're doing all alright except this one here, this butter gold, I think. It's not doing very well. What's happening there? Looks like it might be a nitrogen issue, but I don't think so. I'm guessing there might be maybe the seed rotted or something. Not sure. Fruit corner. We've got the gooseberry plant with some old net curtain. There's quite a few gooseberries on there. Hopefully that keeps the birds off. Maybe there'll be enough for a little dessert or something. The others are just putting on growth. There won't be any fruit on there. That's a gooseberry and the 2 black currants. That'll be for next year. And down here, this little patch here, I dug over. I'm going to put a couple of squash. There's like hardly any room left on the plot. I've basically got about 6 squash plants that I want to put in, but there's just no room. But I've got 2 here, and then somehow I'm going to have to figure out where else to put the rest. We've planted some cosmos here, just to add a bit of colour hopefully, and hopefully they don't get eaten by slugs, but I suspect they might, unless the weather picks up, dries out and gets warmer. Let's have a look around the rest of the plot quickly then. This is what I call the shed bed. There's a few landcress there, and I did plant out some beetroot and celeriac here, which they all seem to all been eaten. Here's a load of beetroot, which some of them are looking alright actually, so I might be able to take a few of those. And the back there, this is the parsnips and 2 carrot buckets, containers, and they look okay, although I think quite a few of them have been eaten by slugs. But should be get a few at least. Round the front here, this is the Cerinthia planted out, which is starting to flower. They look nice. Getting just starting to do there. I like the look of these plants because the way the leaves at the tips seem to absorb the colour of the flowers. Okay, this is bed 1. And in here we've got a load of brassicas. These are, I grew these from seed, these ones. These are Marathon Calabres. and at the back there is some cauliflower. I had to buy those from the garden centre because mine failed, unfortunately. And in the middle, a few leeks that we sowed the other day. Just struggling to find spaces for things. And then at back here, outside the cage, is a few celeriac, which seem to be doing a bit better than the ones in the shed bed. But I've actually got some spare ones at home, and to be honest, I don't really want that many celeriac. Just 3 or 4 would be nice. This is bed 4. We've got loads of leeks there, using the hole in the ground technique, which is very popular. And then a few of the exhibition onions that aren't doing as well as the other bed, but I'm not surprised because I didn't put as much compost and manure. I need to cover these leeks up, so I'll do that probably tomorrow, just to make sure no allium leaf miner can get in them. A couple of spare tomato plants there, spare lettuce. Peas have done really badly. I'm going to pull these peas out and try again. I think they've just been eaten by slugs, to be honest. These are sugar snap peas, and I noticed there was actually some flowers there, yeah. But I'm just going to pull those out, I think, because they've done so badly. Okay, this is bed 3, I think. I'm calling it bed 3. This is a sea of broad beans, aqua dulcis broad beans, and I think they're getting close to being ready to harvest. There's loads of them there. I mean, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with all those. I did have black fly on them, as many people do. I've removed the tops, but they still seem to be covered, but apparently they don't really cause any harm, so not too worried about that. And at the back here, the garlic's looking okay. Quite nice thick stems there. I reckon sort of late June maybe, or early July, they'll be ready to pull out, and maybe that'll give me some room for things like squash. And then bed 2, again, these are podding peas, and they've done badly. We sowed some more in the ground the other day, just direct sown, and if there's no mice around, they'll sprout, but probably get eaten by slugs. So and peas on the other side, these are Mons 2 Oregon sugar pod, and they're doing the best out of the 3, but I've sown some more at home of these because they're really nice. But yeah, so peas not doing brilliant. Stuck a couple 3 tomato plants in here, which is probably a bad idea because they're going to get crowded out. I'll have to see. That was a mistake. Maybe I'll take some of those broad beans out there just to give them some light. These are Cocktail Crush, I think, which is a blight resistant variety. Yeah, so that's all the beds, I think. Some things going well, some's not so well. We need the weather to get better though. Look at that arch, isn't it lovely?